right, and welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Ballmeister.
And I'm Ross Marion.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say, what's up, Rob?
What's up, Rob?
All right, Rob, we'll be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns. Make sure to tag at Star City Games, and he will get his favorites and sent over to us. We are continuing our M21, a little battle preview season here. Day 2 of it. So these are our, 8th, 10th, and 11th decks that we've been playing so far. Or 9th and 10th, I guess, yeah. And so far, like we've been saying, nothing is jumping off the page as something that's going to, just knock it out of the park, except maybe Ugin. Ugin was pretty impressive, the one match that we played.
Eugene S. Dragon is a strong magic card.
Strong magic card. But everything else seems to be filling, small roles and stuff like that. And after we get rid of absurd magic cards like Teferi Time Reveler, Narset, Wilderness Reclamation, anything that's going to rotate next. These are cards that are going to shine. So it is very important for us to look at these cards and put them into what shells they would be going into, even if these are not going to be what we're necessarily going to see in Standard right away. Until stuff rotates, it's something that you can always keep in the back of your mind that, like, okay, when this card is out, remember this deck we played, this could be good, something like that,
Yeah.
So what I'm going to be playing for round number 2 here is a Simic Flash deck. Pretty standard Flash stuff. These are our 2 new cards.
Standard is the format we're playing.
Standard is the format we're playing, but no, pretty normal standard Simic Flash decks that we've seen before, kind of that took down Mythic Championship by 6, I think. The one with Brad and
it's pretty stock.
Yeah.
We consulted Matthew Dilks. He told us it's stock.
Okay, thank God. We have to ask the stock master himself. But the new additions we get is Lofty Denial here. This is a 2-mana Force Spike, but when you have a flyer similar to Spectral Sailor, which we have 4 of, that really helps out this card. It is now 2 mana counter unless you pay 4. So a supercharged mana leak that I think will be quite good. And then Rewind is the main reason here. Rewind, play Night Pack Amateur on the same turn is going to be backbreaking for any deck.
That is 100% the goal, and I agree with Corey. That is, scary.
That is scary. That is scary. Now, there's plenty of ways to, get under these flash strategies and in fact, in Standard right now that we're seeing testing for the Players Tour. I want to go on a mini little rant here. I was testing Flash for this tournament. Me and Ely Cassis were pretty high on a Bant Flash deck, but there's just so many things that you have to prepare for Flash decks right now, whether it be Sacrifice decks or a bunch of Shark Typhoons. There's just too many variables to be able to control with Flash strategies right now, so I don't find them to be that good at the moment in our current Standard, but maybe these extra counter spells may have something to help with that.
Both of these cards do help you out with covering a wide range of stuff because they counter anything, and the 2-mana counter spells are either really underpowered like Quench or they're highly conditional like Essence Scatter. But Lofty Denial, covers whatever your opponent's doing. It does it really efficiently when you have a flyer, and this deck has 12 flyers in it. And then Rewind not only is a generic counter spell, but it helps you enact that tempo Flash game plan really, really well because of the synergy with Night Pack Ambusher especially, but also just going Rewind, make a 2/2 Shark, or Rewind, cast Brazen Bar, or I bounced something earlier against an aggro deck. All of those things are really nice and really welcome. Normally you have to make the decision, do I spend my mana answering what my opponent does, or do I establish some sort of threat? Rewind lets you do both on the same turn, and that's huge.
That is huge, because there's so many times when you're playing a Flash deck that you're behind on board, which will happen most often, most games, and then your opponent's playing something that'll make it even more behind on board. So it's like, okay, I want to get Night Pack Ambusher to start getting stuff going, but you're like, I can't let that thing resolve. This solves that problem. That covers the hole a little bit and allows you to do that.
So lets you be more aggressive.
Yeah. So what do you got for us?
I'm going to be playing mono white aggro. I know that you played a sort of mid-range white deck on Tuesday's show.
And wasn't impressed with it for what it's worth,
But I think Basri is going to be much more impressive in a lower curve deck where you're getting ahead of your opponent. That's what this deck is. It's a Venerated Loxodon deck. We've got 1,000,000 1-drops. Seasoned Hallowblade is another, I think, very good new addition. It is certainly not better than Adanto Vanguard, but there's a lot of space between Adanto Vanguard and playable.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. That card was insane.
Yeah, and just cards that keep the pressure on. Between Basri, Seasoned Hallowblade, and the other edition, Selfless Savior, you have a lot of ways to protect your battlefield in the case of sweepers.
Okay.
So it's an aggro deck that's going to put a lot of pressure on your opponent, but you're also just not going to get blown out by Shadow of the Sky and Deafening Clarion as often, which is really nice. You know,
yeah,
I'm also playing things like what's the snake? Stonecoil Serpent.
Oh, Stonecoil Serpent.
That survives Deafening Clarion, doesn't get bounced by Teferi.
Okay.
So a deck that, you know, that kind of resilience to the best cards against you is really, really welcome.
Yeah.
And I think all three of these new additions do give you that.
Yeah.
So you don't have some of the really powerful cards that white aggro is known for back when it was really doing well in standard, things like History of Benalia, Legion's Landing, and Benelish Marshal.
Yeah.
But being able to protect yourself from sweepers in a really efficient way is, you know, really nice. I'm also playing Luris in the main deck. That is a great follow-up to your opponent's sweeper.
Yep.
You know, you protect 2 creatures, and the next one you go Luris, recast one of the ones that died from the graveyard, especially with Selfless Savior. Card that can just keep being recast and protect the Luris itself. Yeah. Which is really nice. So.
And honestly, for what it's worth, you say all these cards that we don't have in mono white as like not, you know, insane cards, but we do still have the best card for mono white, and that is Loxodon. You know, I mean, that card is just unreal, and it's still crazy to me that it's not being played, but that really is because the cast and crew that go with it in these aggressive decks just are not good enough. They're so bad right now, but, you know, with these, it does seem like mono white aggro was given a little bit some new toys, and we're only, what, halfway through the spoiler or something like that. So historically, this has been a bad matchup. This has been not what Flash decks want to play against. We definitely want to play against control. You want to play against combo. The hyper-aggressive ones are really, really usually rough. So I'll be interested to see if some of these new tools help or if I just get run over.
Yeah, and I think Rewind in particular helps a lot in this match.
But it's still 4 mana, you know? It's still 4 mana, which is, you know, not great. Nightpack Ambusher is still going to be my best card, and I'm going to have to rely on it heavily.
Okay, I will keep my hand.
Yeah, mine is risky, but I think I have to keep it.
Venerable Knight.
Okay. Past you.
Beats for 2.
I will take it.
Seasoned Hallowblade.
Okay.
You're up.
And we're dead. Past you.
Bossary Ket.
I got a negate for that.
Attack for 5.
All right. 13.
You're up.
Land go.
Attack for 5.
I'm going to make a 1/1 shark.
1/1 shark.
1/1 shark. All right, and then I'm going to try to block. Our hand is not developing the way we wanted. There's one specific thing we wanted, and we've instead drawn that.
13. Yeah, that's fine. You go to 10.
Yep.
Play a 4/4 Stonecoil Serpent.
Okay.
You can go.
That's scary.
I love Stonecoil Serpent.
It's so good. All right, I'm going to scry. I don't think I can do much anymore. 7. Yeah, I think I need one specific card, and it's something to interact with this, so I'm going to pass to you.
Attack for 7. I should hold this line in my hand.
No blocks. Down to 3.
3. Fairy Guide Mother.
Okay.
You're up.
All right. Cross Spiral. No land. I'm so dead. Yeah, I just had all disputes.
There's 3 disputes in the main deck?
Yeah.
I hung all of them.
Well, I think this is a good matchup to go to sideboard first, because I am definitely, this deck is still heavily metagamed for other blue decks, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, that was just a case of, actually, if I had that Temple as an untapped land, I had Rewind Nightpack Ambusher, which would have been strong, but the tap land obviously was quite the dagger there.
So a matchup or a game that looked like a blowout, but could have easily been turned around just by the power of Rewind into Ambusher. And the Temple of Tilt reared its ugly head.
Temple of Tilt always coming to strike me down. So we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with sideboarding here on Versus Live. All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding with Simic Flash up against Mono White Beatdown here. On my end, you know, we were saying how we have a lot of counter spells that are very heavily metagame towards the blue metagame that we've been playing playing against. And we just happened to draw 4 out of the 5 of these cards, so that was a little unlucky for game 1. But I want to get out Disputes, I want to get out Negates, and then I don't necessarily want to get out Lofty Denial because I do just want to see how it is. Yeah. But there's really not much else to take out, and I really want all 6 of these cards here. Lovestruck Beast in particular is going to be insane because the 1/1 body is able to just, you know, block your vulnerable knights, all your other X1s pretty profitably.
Trades for a card.
Exactly. And then the 5/5 body is just a house against you. So this is going to be my best card. I wish I had 7 or so of this, but and then just a decent little removal spell here. Nothing to write home about, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Slap it on a Tithe Taker. Let's go.
Pay an extra 1, please.
Yeah, that's true.
I've got some Tithe Takers. I'm just trimming my weakest 2-drop to bring in a better 2-drop here. You know, this matchup is structurally pretty good for the white side, so not making significant changes.
Yep.
I thought about Glass Casket to help against Lovestruck Beast, but do already have Giant Killer, and I really don't want to have Glass Casket in my deck if I can avoid it.
Yeah, exactly. And I could like Brazen Bar or bounce the casket, block something, kind of blow you out. Like, sure, you can recast it, but then my Brazen Bar was a removal spell instead of a bounce spell, which is much more backbreaking against you. So
that would be really good.
Yep.
Brazen Borrower into Shriekmaw.
Exactly. Oh, God. I haven't heard that name in a while. That was one of my favorite cards.
I think the last time I played Shriekmaw and Constructed, it was when Birthing Pod was legal in Modern.
Okay. I picture myself playing Shriekmaw when it was like the Vivid Lands and
back when it was in Standard.
Exactly, yeah. There's Vivid Lands, and then there was also wasn't Fairies the deck that played against it, or
well, the Shriekmaw is part of Lower and Block, so yeah.
Yeah. I was definitely always playing Fairies, but I know people were playing like the Cloud Thresher decks, and they had Shriekmaws in there and whatnot.
There was the Elementals deck with Smoke Braider and stuff. I played that deck. It was super fun.
That was super fun.
One of the most fun decks I've ever played.
Yeah, agreed.
I used to play my Shriekmaw and Pod was in some foreign language, and I was playing a match and was playing against Affinity, and it just forgot to bring it out because it doesn't destroy artifacts. And we go to game 2, and I think I'm all good to 5, and then my very first draw step of the game is just Shriekmaw. And I was looking at this, I'm pretty sure this does nothing, and I needed to bring this out, but I literally had to call Judge to make sure because it's in a language I couldn't read.
Wow! And you're like, Judge, I'm pretty sure I made a grave error. Can you confirm?
Yeah.
I like it. All right, let's take one question from you, Rob, here, and then we'll get this game started.
All right, so a question for Ross in your deck. Boulder Elf wants to know, do you think that Heraldic Banner could be played in this deck with Basri's second ability, or do you think that's a little too try to build around that?
Oh, it definitely can.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah, my thing with Banner in this deck is that you're not really using the mana effectively. You're really just playing it as a weak anthem, and that's the part I don't like. But it definitely goes nicely with Basri, and that's, you know, I've seen some mono white decks that like splash black essentially and play Obosh. And as a companion. Maybe that's something you can do. Or you can just, you know, find something to do with the mana, or just really play all 1-drops. But yeah, Heraldic Banner was a card I considered, but I really wanted Luris. I wanted to stress the sort of resilient aspects of the deck and have all these indestructible threats, and then also have Luris to be recasting them. As opposed to just the straight up aggressive version, because oftentimes that's going to be win more, but it is definitely a powerful synergy.
To be fair, I think building these aggressive decks with resiliency in mind is historically just been a better plan than the all-in thing, because as your opponent, you know what your opponent's doing if you're the Heraldic Banner type thing. And another thing that I would add about the Banner is that card is not a good Magic card at all, but it's really good when you can utilize both things it does. When you go 3 to 5, which we did in the Obosh decks, that's why it was awesome, and the pump effect is good in your deck. And now it does check the 1 box because of the Planeswalker, that putting in a lot of white aggressive creatures is going to be awesome with the Banner, but we're not using the mana, so I think that just means you can't have it. Otherwise, you really do want just Glorious Anthem in that deck. That would be insane. You would play that for sure, but
and you really do want the toughness. Making 2/1s is not. It's obviously much better against a Goldfish, but your opponent's still going to be able to block them pretty effectively.
Agreed. All right, let's do it. So I'm going to be on the play, hoping for a little better result than last game. It's a keeper. It's nothing insane, but...
Yeah, I'll keep 2.
All right. Past you.
Unt.
And response.
You're up.
Now we could think about just trying to block this. We don't care about our sailor that much. So yeah, I would rather hold back. Your go.
And I will not be trading. So you could have the counterspell, whatever the name of it is, but it's not going to, it's better than a force spike anyway because you started on the sailor, so I'll just tap out.
Okay, that resolves.
Sweet. You're up.
All right, bounce it.
Tilt. Less sweet.
Less sweet. Less sweet, more tilt. Now I can start to think about actually just wanting to be the aggressor. But not this turn. Pass to you. That resolves. That resolves. All right, Brazy B. Brazy B.
You're up.
All right.
It's your turn.
It's my turn.
You can go.
Let's go with, all right, you can trade with your Stone Coil Serpent here, but I think that's okay. I don't really want to block any of those things, so I'm going to get in there. All right.
That one I will trade for.
Yeah.
Don't want to take too much damage here, so I'm at 19.
I'm going to scry this growth spiral to the bottom and pass to you.
Love seeing a temple there.
Yeah.
So why did you attack? You have a shark typhoon? A foon?
A foon? You're a shark buffoon.
I will play a Venerable Knight.
In response, I'm going to bounce.
I don't like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 permanents for Loxodon. If I get rid of 1, that makes 4.
Okay, land Loxodon.
Yeah.
You're up.
I had the soul read that you did not have land Loxodon, so I could have been wrong and I would have been punished there pretty severely, but I had it. I had the read. Let's go with declare attacks.
Tap a sailor.
Okay, I'll give the beatdowns.
18.
All right, and what do we want to do now? I'm pretty sure you have, well, I know you have the 3-1, and I'm pretty locked in on you having a Loxodon. So the best things to play around that, and I don't have any great things. So I'm going to make a 1-1. What is it, Shaheen?
Yes.
And I'll pass to you. I think I'd rather have the option of playing Brazen Bar than just jamming a Love Struck right now.
Seasoned Hallowblade.
That resolves.
Venerated Loxodon.
No, it doesn't. Lofty Denial.
You're up.
Do you have 4 mana to pay for that?
I have 4 lands.
That counts.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
Certainly not a different thing.
Beatdowns.
15.
Your go.
I go. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
What do you mean? I didn't play any of my spells. You should love me not playing your spells.
Loris.
Okay.
Stone Coil Serpent.
Okay.
Declare attacks.
Yep.
Kind of thought you had a counter spell. Could have a Shark Typhoon here.
Could be scrying too.
Could just want to play Bar instead of the Beast and really try to be aggressive. Maybe that was your plan.
Yeah, it's not that great against Serpent anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out what the last card in your hand is.
Could be anything.
Yeah, I kind of think it's Nightpack Ambusher. And there's not really a lot I can do about that. Though I could just sort of hold tight for this turn. I think that's actually reasonable. Yeah, you can go.
All right, 3/3 shark. 3/3 shark. All right, draw a card for that. Untap. Draw. It's an interesting couple draws.
What are life totals? Just to make sure.
I've got 15 for me, 20 for Corey.
Okay.
15, 20? Okay. Yeah, can't read my own handwriting. All right, so you have one flying blocker.
Reach blocker.
One reach blocker, and then you also get to just bring it back. So that is uncool. It's quite uncool of you.
Yep. I get to do those things that you said.
The things that I said.
About the lack of coolness.
I'm going to attack with my 3/3
I'll
shark.
block.
All right, your go. Oh, Luris. I thought I was done with you.
I will play Unbreakable Formation.
Free counter spell. Take that.
Well, you're a jerk.
Zero Stonecoil Serpent.
Shouldn't have played my land. That was bad. Oh, slam.
All right, I got one of these too. Is that good to draw rewind Aperture?
Well, tap it down.
Okay. And then I'm going to block. So I can block your 3/1. You can make it indestructible by getting rid of one of your cards that I'm assuming they're both non-lands. I also don't care about my life total that much. So maybe I just want to make the good block on the vulnerable knight. You don't have any other knights? Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay.
Take 3.
You go to 17.
Yep.
You're up.
Okay. I'm going to bring the pain.
Okay, I'm at 6.
7, 8, 9. All right, 6. Now, I don't want you to attack with Luris, but I guess I'm making a 3/3, so that does kind of stop that. This is tough. So here's my thought is I have options here. So I can either just go Lovestruck Beast, Brazen Bar, not get a wolf, or I can take 2. This is what I'm leaning on. Or I can take 2, get a wolf, draw a card, or play Brazen Bar if I'm feeling like getting aggressive. And, you know, I could draw into something valuable. What would you do, Ross? I think this one's actually really close. That's what I'm leaning on is the draw a card or Brazen Bar thing, get a 3/3.
Yeah, that's what I'm inclined to do, but I don't think I would shock with the breeding pool.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Even to try to get lofty.
Just draw into one of your 2 remaining lofty denials.
Yeah.
Like, I think most of the time you're playing bar anyway.
But I could also draw into like a bar or any 2-drop, you know, but
I like the get my token and
get your free
just play
value.
Bar because you're the aggressor right now. If you were in a more defensive posture, sure, then you'd want the 5/5, but
yeah, sure. Okay, we won't take 2. We'll stay at this.
you're at 17.
And then I'll go ahead and step, get a wolf, and pass to you. And you're at 6, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Unbreakable Formation.
Okay.
Attack you for 10.
All right, I'll block the Giant Killer. Block the Giant Killer and take the rest.
Okay, I'll chop this down before damage.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So Wolf dies, Ambusher dies. You
Yeah,
take 8, I gain 4.
You just gamed me with making that play, didn't you?
You're at 9, I'm at 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't tell you to block.
That's true.
You're up.
All right, so 6, 7, 8. I can put 8 flying into into play, or maybe I just have to draw a card. I think I have to draw a card here. I don't think the Brazen Borrower does enough. Yeah, all right, I'll draw.
Okay.
Untap, draw. Oops. Let's go with Lovestruck Beast. And I'm at 9, huh? And then we'll get in there.
For 5, I go to 5.
Here you go. 5 to 9. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living.
It's a good draw.
Yeah, the thing is, you don't even need a good draw. You definitely just have good stuff in your yard.
I can't really attack.
Unless you
I'm
want
at
to tap it
5
down.
right now. Okay, I will play a 1/1 Stonecoil Serpent.
Okay.
I will play a 2/2 Stonecoil Serpent.
Okay.
I will play a Giant Killer.
Okay.
And I will pass the turn.
Ambership. I'm going to draw a card.
Yep.
Beginning of combat.
You're in the beginning of combat.
You would not like to tap anything?
So you're passing priority in beginning of combat.
I'm in beginning of combat.
Okay, I am going to tap the Lovestruck Beast.
Okay, so my only decent block or attacker is a shark. I'll attack with a shark.
Okay, I will double block with the 2 serpents.
Okay. I am going to move to end step, get a wolf.
Yep.
Still at end step. Yoinks. No abilities. Here we go. How are those Stonecoil Serpent blocks now, Mr. Merriam? This game has been sick, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
This game has been really sick. I'm going to sack this Fabled Passage. I am F6. I got nothing. I didn't even know that was a Magic card until today, to be honest. That's pretty interesting. Because, I mean, there was a card similar to that. Wasn't it like the Flash and you got 2 energy back in the day?
Ether
Meltdown?
Meltdown.
Yeah, it was either -2 or -4. Might have really shrunk the creature. I can't remember.
In a surprise to no one, I didn't have that one queued up ready to go.
Rob, come on, dude. I sent you the meeting of all the possible bad jokes or bad card references I was going to make.
And it was -4, -0.
Is it? Okay.
It also doesn't stop abilities.
Yeah, I knew it didn't stop abilities. And right now, the -4, if it was just Meltdown, I was going to get wrecked. All right, well.
You would also have an illegal deck because it's from Kaladesh, so.
Yeah. So maybe you just drew a land and you're just trying to maintain my things. You could tap down these 2 and, yeah, I'll block. Okay.
Discard my land.
Okay.
You're up.
All right, so now you can still double tap down, which is very effective. Not a good draw, so I can safely start with the draw. Beginning combat.
Tap the green creatures.
Okay. Are these blocking? I don't think they are. That's usually the question you should ask yourself, but I don't want to die, so I'm going to attack for 1.
I'm at 4.
Okay, and then I'll get a wolf and pass to you. Wolf, wolf, wolf. This set may be about cats and dogs, but we still got wolves hanging around here.
Chop down the ambusher.
Yoinks! Free counterspell. Rewind the tapes. Rewind. Do we need an instant replay for a second rewind?
I'm beating that.
That was a game. That was one heck of a game. Yeah, you played super well with baiting me for the Luris and the chop down and stuff like that. It's just I got you with the good bait of really hoping you double blocked with the Stonecall Servant. It wasn't insane if you didn't, but it was really good if you did.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot I can do there. I think my plays are pretty scripted and just.
I agree.
It was really Spectral Sailor in that game because you got to draw 2 cards on several turns, and it was really critical that you have all the cards you had on the turns you had them.
That was not what it was I drew a card at end step off that Shark Typhoon, and then I drew for my turn, and it was Rewind Ambusher. That's what put me back into the game.
Yeah.
And then Sailor started taking over after that, but without that draw step, even if I just had one of them, it wasn't enough because you played like your first Unbreakable formation, which I had to counter, and then I got to Ambusher to start catching up. Like I was just wildly behind. But all right, looks like we got a spicy game 3.
Yeah. We already
sideboarded, right?
Yeah. We already played 2 games. Now we have to sideboard.
That game was so long, it didn't even. It definitely felt like we were already done.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you just want to scoop it up and just keep the marbles over here.
No, I think we'll play game 2.
All right. How about we take some questions too, Rob?
All right, we've had a few questions in chat about a card that was previewed earlier called Archfiend's Vessel. It's a 1/1 for a single black creature, human cleric. It has lifelink, and when Archfiend's Vessel enters the battlefield, if it entered from your graveyard or you cast it from your graveyard, exile it. If you do, create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. So do you all see this being played in any formats?
It doesn't seem like anything for standard for me, or
in particular because Brazen Borrower and Teferi are around, the token is not very valuable. So you can't play this card thinking that I'm going to just take advantage of the whatever synergy you have with Luris or Call of the Death Dweller. Several ways to get the trigger pretty easily.
Yeah, that's right.
But you can't be thinking about that with this card because the token itself is so easily answered.
Yeah.
So it's not particularly valuable. So in order for this card to be good right now, because the token isn't as valuable as it otherwise would be, you need to be taking advantage of the 1/1 lifelink body to begin with. And I don't really see a deck that does that well.
Not really, but I could see it with Call of the Death Dweller. It is kind of cool, like bring that back plus a priest, and put both counters on the priest because you're getting the demon.
Yeah.
Something like that is cute. It might be a decent 2-of to just have, but
that's like a post-Teferi thing, though.
Yeah, seems like it. But to be fair, the Call of the Death Dweller Rakdos decks, Teferi and Brazen Bar are both bad. Like, those aren't cards you normally should side out. So that's the only solace I have,
That's a good point. If the rest of your deck is so good against those cards that they're not very good, then you bring in this card that forces them to have it. Now your opponent's in a really awkward spot.
Yeah, sideboarding in an awkward situation is what I always love to do. Just playing standard right now with the power level, it opens the door for your opponents to make mistakes. And let's get real, Magic is really hard, It
also just increases the variance. So they might not even make a mistake, but they just have to have them in certain numbers, and they draw them the wrong card at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So that is a good point. So if you're in a specific deck like that where those cards are bad against you, then this card can also be good.
Like it. You got one more question, Rob?
Yeah, we've also had some questions about a different card that is called Conclave Mentor. It's a 2/2 for a green and a white. If one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead. +1. When it dies, you gain life equal to its power. So do you think that could be playable in a green-white aggro deck?
Yeah, what is it? I didn't understand.
It's the Winding Constrictor text. Sorry if I read that wrong.
Okay.
Where if he gets a counter, it gets one more additional +1/+1 counter.
So it's a Selesnya Winding Constrictor that when it dies, you gain life equal to its power?
Correct.
I mean,
locks it on me up. I mean,
yeah, really good with locks it on. Good with Stonecall Serpent.
Yeah, I can see a green-white tokens deck. I mean, that's the kind of 2-drop you need in that style deck. And is Amari still legal? I don't even know.
also very good with Bossery. Now Bossery's putting 2 counters on your things.
Yeah. No, I could see a green-white tokens deck coming back. Oh, happy days. Okay, I got my next standard idea for next week.
Yeah, that's just a good card.
That seems awesome. Yeah, that seems like a good one. I think that'll see some play. Yeah, I really don't have any bad thing to say about that card.
We all know what Hardened Skills does, right?
Yeah.
At this point. So, the efficiency's there. It's a 2-drop.
But it's always been in black that it's kind of forced you in, at least in standard for the longest time. Not saying that white is a better color or anything, but it just opens the door to another color combination, which could be awesome,
Always good to have other possibilities. My hand is mediocre, but I will keep it.
Medium as well, but I'm going to try.
Plains Venerable Knight.
Okay.
You're up.
Scry. Oh, God. I feel like this is a card I need, but it's not great right now. I think no, we're going to bottom it. We're going to be disciplined.
Okay, attack for 2.
All right, 18.
Giant kill it.
Okay.
You're up.
All right, land go. Punish for putting that on the bottom.
I'll counter my stuff.
Yeah, that resolves.
Interesting. Feels like you have a petty theft.
That'd be petty of me.
And I think your goal would be to bounce the Bossery just because it's so expensive. So I'm going to try to punish you for trying to do that and -2 this turn. And even if you bounce a creature, I'm still going to get another token.
Yeah, that's fine.
Declare tax?
Yep.
Send and get 1/1 white soldiers. So we're going to need some Aaron Barrages.
All right, I'll take it.
Well, that went well. You're at 13.
Yep.
You can go.
Growth Spiral. Scry. I don't think we need a counter spell anymore, so let's put that Lofty Denial to the bottom. And land go. Yes.
So put a +1/+1 counter on one of the tokens.
Sure.
And and
we're both doing the numbers and both like, if you have that, if you have this.
yeah. Okay, Unbreakable Formation.
All right, rewind.
God damn it.
Rewind is the most frustrating card to play against. Yeah, Flash is not fun to play against.
Go.
Okay. End step. Cycle a 2/2 shark.
Ugh.
Yeah, you got punished for your decisions. Well, that's the problem is I don't disagree with them. I just think, it's hard to play around both everything. That's for sure. All right, I'll kill Bossery.
Ugh.
All right, Temple.
Rewind has been really good.
Rewind has been nice. I have to agree. And I'll pass to you. Yeah, I'm a fan of Rewind.
Declare tax.
Yeah. No blocked.
Take 5, go to 8.
Yep.
Okay, Castle, go.
End step, I'm going to put this on here. Or do I actually want to do that? I want to put it somewhere. Here's the thing is you can... Yeah, I think I just have to stop the tapper.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
It's not right to put it there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, that was a pretty nice draw. Land go.
Okay, make a token.
Yep.
These are humans, so we need some Shaheens.
Yep. None of them are knights, though, right? Yeah, so this is just your Savannah lines, right? You really don't have much knight synergy.
Yeah. Could make a human first before doing this, but that does not play around to the 2-mana counterspell.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to do this.
Have you heard of rewind?
3 rewinds in your deck. You can go.
I got one more in hand then. All right. End step. I'll play a sailor.
Oh, God, use all your mana.
Draw a card. I'm in love with this deck, let me tell you. Yeah, land. I don't really want to attack with this quite yet, so... Actually, I'm going to leave it back. I want to have that.
Make a Shaheen on end step.
Yep.
Slam Jam.
Slam a jam, huh? Oh, boy. So I want to keep my shark alive.
Yeah, so I think the obvious blocks are like this.
Well, the obvious block is like this, but I'm very much considering not blocking at all and just keeping the card draw. So I think it's quite valuable, but I think it's quite dangerous.
Yeah. If you don't have other things to do, you can draw before you decide on how to block.
Yeah.
That's definitely a reasonable line.
Okay, so what if I do this? I'd take 6, I'd go to 2.
You take 4.
Huh? If you did block this,
yeah, then you'd be 2.
It'd be 2.
That's not a lot of life, Corey.
That's not a lot of life at all. Yeah, I just don't think I can do that.
So if you draw before blocks, you could find another Shark Typhoon or another Sailor, which would, I think, make your decision a lot easier.
Yeah. All right, I think I got it. I'm going to play a Frilled Mystic. Blocked.
Yep.
Five, you make a token. All right, I'll block like that.
You go to 3.
3, yep.
I lose the 2 Shaheens.
Yep.
Well, Frilled Mystic was like the most frustrating card you could have had.
Amateur might have been better.
Disagree.
Okay.
So I think I will now play this because I need to be tapping your other stuff.
Sure.
So let's just play that, even though I kind of wanted to hold it.
Mm-hmm.
And then pass the turn.
Yeah, that is kind of frustrating for you, I guess, huh? All right, your go.
Make a Shaheen.
Yep. It's coming down to the wire.
Yep.
Now you get enough for Castle and Giant Killer.
Yep. And I think I just want to attack with these. So you have 2 in hand right now?
Yep.
So I don't really want to attack and be forced to Giant Killer right now, because then if you have Ambusher or Shark Typhoon, you get to make a really big blocker.
Yeah.
Though I guess like the size of the blocker doesn't much matter. It's just that these are blocking the 1/1, so maybe I should do that. Because if I tap Frilled Mystic and get in with everything, you can still just block these 2 and take 2 and survive. But that would trade off both of these. You'd be left with Frilled Mystic. I'd have 3 1/1s and the Giant Killer. If you had one of the big blockers, then things get awkward if I tap the Mystic, because then you make another big blocker. You put 2/2 here, 1/1 here, big blocker there, and suddenly you're at 2, and I'm down to just the Aaron Barrich and the Giant Killer.
Yep.
And you're going to have all 3 of these left. So it would just be kind of a disaster.
All I know is the one thing that's been amazing this game was rewinds. They were so sick.
So because of that seems like a disaster, I think I just attack with the 2 things that force us to trade, and then I'm not forced to use the giant killer. And if you trade and if you trade the Spectral Sailor away for this, that's also fine.
And you have 1 card?
Yep.
Let's go with... Yeah, let's block on both.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to essentially keep my Frilled Mystic alive. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So this is going to die. That's going to...
Yours is going to die. I take nothing.
And I will pass the turn.
All right, draw a card.
Yep.
Still at end step bounce. That was a good draw.
Jesus.
All right, draw.
Finish all the time.
Flyer is not going to be very important, so I can probably just draw first. I'm not going to need a flying blocker. So draw.
Yep.
Go.
End step, make a Shaheen.
Yep.
Slam. Just really want to get this Sailor out of the way, so you stop drawing cards. You can just block with Frilled Mist and go to 1, but not sure if you'll want to do that. The awkward part about bouncing the giant killer is now you know I have Chop Down if you've drawn a big thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, I'll just block 1. Take 2. Down to 1.
1. I will play a Venerable Knight.
Yep.
And do I want to play the giant killer or hold and have Chop Down for a big thing? You're 1 right now. I'm going to be able to make a token, so this is going to be 4 lethal attackers with a giant killer in hand. And I guess, this is going to tap something down next turn, which is also fine. So, yeah, I think I just play it.
Mystic it.
That was the worst possible. Just punished for every decision ever.
Hey, you didn't play pre-combat, so you didn't get that punished. Done?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to start by drawing a card. That was good. Love Struck Beast. Now I could just play that as another blocker. That seems like the correct thing to be doing. I'll play this. Scry. Top. Go.
Make a token.
Yep. Now my shields are down.
You can go.
Oh, yeah. That's what we wanted to see. If you're a Corey camp mate here, that is what the doctor ordered. All right. And what are life totals now? 1 to 20, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, I can't really get frisky because I still am at 1. Okay. Pass to you.
Make another Sheen.
Okay.
You can go.
Okay. How big do I want to make this Shark Typhoon? The number doesn't really matter that much unless I want to stay under Chop Down, but I think you would consider it and probably play it. Plus, it would be your 3rd one, but I also want to draw cards. Mostly,
well, I think you just want to make it at least an 8/8.
Yeah.
So if you make it an 8/8, it's lethal with the 2 flyers next turn. If you make it a 9/9, it's lethal just with the Brazen Borrower.
But I can't attack back at you this turn. So what I'm leaning on is making a 5/5 and drawing a card. That's what I'm leaning on.
I guess you would need to draw something.
Yeah, I would need to draw something. So I think I'm going to play it safe here.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to draw...
Thought there was one more blocker or one fewer attacker.
Yeah, I'm not going to draw first. I'm going to sack this, thin the deck out. Let's draw first. Maybe I get Ambusher, and I think I'd rather Ambusher and Brazen Borrower.
Yeah.
So 4 to activate to draw. Didn't happen, so let's make a 5/5. 5/5 Shark. Draw for that. Untap. Draw. Draw. Just deciding what to attack with here. I do want to start getting you dead, so let's attack for 5.
Well, that's a bad sign. It means he's drawn something. I'm at 15.
Already played a land, and I'll pass to you.
Make a Sheen.
Yep.
It's awkward. I flooded so badly this game, and I'm still like sort of 1 mana short of what I want to do this turn.
Classic.
So I want to make this Serpent a 6/6.
Oh, yep.
But I also want to make a token.
Yeah.
And 6/6 is important both for blocking this effectively and when I'm attacking. If it's a 5/5, you get to evenly block it.
Yep.
If it's a 6/6, you need to double block it.
Yep.
Which is really nice. I could just hope you don't have another borrower or a counterspell and just make this gigantic. That's kind of a risky play because it will take me off of Castle for a turn, which could be really important.
Yeah, when Castle is pumping out lethal attackers, it's interesting. Wow, that is a tough spot.
I could play it with it's either 5 or everything.
Yeah,
it's either 5 or 10.
Yep.
There's no real other option. I'm kind of liking 10.
Yeah, not I, but...
though if it's a 10, you still just have a clean double block there. Then I have 6 attackers. You have 4 blockers. You need 2 more things, basically. You have 2 cards in hand right now?
I have 3.
3. I mean, you clearly have at least one thing, one relevant card in those 3.
That'd be a good assumption.
You're going to draw 2 on end step at worst, and then another for turn, and probably easily draw another one.
This is the first time that Spectral Sailor has been good for me since Mythic Championship 1. Like, this is the first time I've ever drawn it in a game of Standard, and it's been insane in this whole match.
Yeah, I don't think it being at 10 actually gets me anywhere better than this.
Okay.
So I'm going to play it for 5.
Okay.
You can go.
All right, I might just draw 2 cards. I think we start by drawing 1 and seeing where that takes us. So draw.
Card I really want to draw is Bastard Cat.
Yeah.
Can you manage -2ing and immediately getting 3 more attackers?
To be fair, I should do this before this resolves.
Sure.
Yeah, because I definitely would do that if I draw that. So
yeah, like I'm not doing anything.
Of course,
you definitely do it in response.
I have perfect information.
Talk like the best possible.
Mm-hmm. All right. Untap. Now we have to protect against this amount. So we have 6, 7, which is this is still scary, right? So 3, 4, 5, because I'm not generating tokens and you are. 6, so that's 6 blockers. My Brazen Borrowers are not blockers. I think Ross assumes I have at least one thing as a blocker, so I think leaving these back is going to be enough. So let's jam with this.
I'm a 10.
I just played a land, I think. I had 12.
Yeah, so you have played a land.
I have, yep. Okay. Yeah, pass to you.
Okay, make another Sheen.
Okay.
When do I make my move? So, assuming Corey has another blocker, it's probably not Nightback Ambusher because he would have cast it earlier. And that means it's likely just Shark Typhoon, which means I'm dead next turn. So I think I have to go for it this turn. And You could also just have a Brazen Borrower. Three in hand.
3.
If you had Borrower, I'm not dead next turn.
What do you?
Oh no, I'm at 10.
You're at 10, right?
Yeah, so Borrower also kills me next turn. But that's and that's like sort of.
And honestly, these attackers kill you if I stop, right? Like I just turn them back sideways at you. I guess you have 1 block.
Yeah. If I go for it, the game ends. I think I have to go for it this turn. I'm just trying to figure out how to best utilize the card in my hand.
Okay.
And I don't think. I think I have to try to play around a Brazen Borrower.
Okay. Either way, this match has been phenomenal.
Yeah. So, chop down Lovestruck Beast. Don't have a lot of counter spells left in the deck. I think you have 1 Rewind that can counter this. I think it's 3 Mystic, 3 Rewind, and the counter unless you pay 4 doesn't do it.
Okay, well, I'm going to draw a magic card.
Yep.
Lovestruck Beast was not a good draw. All right. It's been chopped.
Okay. Declare tax.
Yep. All right. I have Petty Theft and Spectral Sailor as the blockers, and then I'll play 2 Brazen Borrowers and come back at you. I'll block these. I'll spread them out in such a way where I take 0 damage, and then I'll come back at you with a lot of damage.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that would have won it.
Yeah.
That's
the card I wanted to draw.
I did not have any counter spells. To be fair, when you did just chop down, I did have Brazen and Spectral, but so I still had you covered. But I could not have beaten that other thing. I could have drawn 1. I would have drawn 1 more card though if you would have drawn it, and I would have drawn the 1 Rewind.
The literal 1 remaining counter spell in the deck.
Now, I wish you would have done that because that would have been extra tilting for you. Can we somehow rewind the tapes so that you're probably sick of the word rewind at this time? But can we rewind the tape? Honestly, here's my favorite card of the set so far. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable in every scenario, and I don't think that's going to be a case of just against aggro. I think just that effect has always been so devastating, and I think this with Ambusher, sure, great. This Shark Typhoon, just as good, if not better. That's a new toy that Rewind never had.
And with Spectral Sailor even too, you don't even need to be playing spell. You counter the spell, then just draw a card with Spectral Sailor.
Yeah.
You've built your own dismiss.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, Teamer Reclamation with Rewind, Nightpack Ambusher, and Shark Typhoon.
Let's go.
Come at me. I mean that it's already the best deck right now. It's this card's only going to make it better. I think Rewind is going to be the real deal. That seems awesome.
Yeah, you don't come close to winning those games without the Rewind. That game was incredibly close, and honestly, game 2, I was just so dead until I had that Rewind Ambusher turn. Rewind was the star there.
Imagine if Veil was still in the format. You're not untapping lands. You're also that would be such a slap in the face.
On my side, Bossry looked good.
Bossry looked way better than when I played.
Yeah, definitely better in an aggressive shell. The 3/1 looked solid.
Yeah,
nothing crazy, but it's just a solid aggressive creature.
Yeah,
we didn't get to see the pup. That one didn't come up, but
not going to come up in this matchup anyway.
Yeah, not great in the matchup for sure. But I think it's pretty clear that Bossry needs to be playing from ahead.
Yeah, so that is not a card that plays from behind, similar to Gideon Blackblade that we saw before. And for what it's worth, I think the Fox is going to be really bad. I just don't think that's going to be a good card. I'm just thinking, what would it be good against? Mayhem Devil is going to be able to ping it down. It's going to be specifically good against Shatter, Clarion, Azorius control decks and stuff. But even
not good against Mayhem Devil.
Even that, it's only saving 1 creature, right? The Fox only saves 1 creature. It's not your whole team.
Yeah, it's sacrifice one creature gets.
Yeah, so I think that one will be a miss, but I like the other 2.
You just need 1-drops in the deck.
Yeah,
I'm playing 3 of the Protector Dog and 3 Stonecoil Serpent.
Yeah,
should probably just play 4 Serpent. Because being able to use your mana late is great.
But you know what I'm interested in for a deck is a green-white token-based deck with that new Winding Constrictor thing, Pelt Collector, Stonecoil Serpent, Gem Razor to put onto these creatures that are already getting counters, maybe Questing Beast, Loxodons, just a green-white beatdown, similar to basically a hybrid of this white deck you played now and the mono green deck that's been doing good before, like cut the Giant Gross, cut that kind of stuff, and just combine them into one really good green-white aggressive token deck. I think that is actually going to be a sweet deck.
Yeah. I could definitely do
volunteer myself to build that for next week. But hey, let's take one question, and then we're going to bring you our kookiest matchup of the day. But honestly, man, the elbows up right there. That match was awesome.
So Ross, question about some higher cost white cards. Some people were asking about why no Mangara in your deck at any point, and also why no Bozri's Lieutenant, and what do you think about that in just a white aggressive deck?
Mangara is the 2/4, right?
Mangara is the 2/4 lifelink, so that's just not a card that goes well in an aggressive strategy.
Unless somehow you're hedging in the mirror, if that becomes a big thing.
If you wanted to sideboard in aggro mirrors, like I have one Baneslayer on the board, that could be a Mangara if you really wanted it to be. But that's the only role that kind of card is going to play in a deck that's this aggressive. And it's sort of similar for Lieutenant. Like this, when you're playing Venerated Loxodon, you have to commit to a lot of cheap creatures. And then, you're keeping your curve low, you're keeping your land count low.
Yeah.
You don't really want to play 4-drops. Like, remember how these decks were built, a year ago when they were doing really well. When Andrew Ellenbogen won a Pro Tour, they weren't playing 4-drops. They're just not interested in that spot on the curve, even if it's a relatively powerful card.
Yeah, History Benelia was the topper at that point.
History and Benless Marshall.
But the new Lieutenant, I could see in the green-white deck that I'm talking about. I could see that in one or two of, but that's another thing that it's still 4 mana. That's just a lot in Standard already, and I don't think the effect is good enough. I think it'd be competing for Questing Beast, and I think Questing Beast is better, but if we are trying to lean into the token synergies, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see it, but that would be the curve topper in that deck. Yeah. And that's like, a little bit of a bigger aggro deck.
Yeah. But that also does, insulate against Wrath as well. Maybe even better than like the Fox, that application for that makes the card maybe playable in a tier 1 deck
in the right metagame.
Exactly. Yep. All right. Well, we have the spiciest decks saved for our round 3. I'm not even going to spoil it for you because you're going to have to look at these decks to even see what we were doing anyways. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with round number 3 here on Versus Live.